the technology segment. We have had such a focus since I've been here on PTA and purchasing technology for the school. And so I thought it would be a nice idea to kind of show everybody the fruits of your labor, so to speak, all of the things that we've been fundraising for and what we've been able to purchase. It's one thing to hear about it, but tonight we're going to have a couple of live demonstrations. And so we're going to have 3 teachers come up, and actually Ms. Kearns is going to come up and show us Nooks as well. So Ms. Kearns is going to talk to us about Nooks that she's got going in the library now. Ms. Withy will come up, and she's going to show everybody some different activities that she does with the document cameras, which we have document cameras in every classroom now, and that was all thanks to PTA. You guys completely purchased all of those. And then, who's going to go next? Who's going next? Ms. Rockhold, I guess. Ms. Rockhold will come up, and she's going to show you guys some smart activities that she does in her classroom with calendar and calendar math. And then Ms. Schmidt's going to come up and show you some smartboard activities as well, but she's going to use our clicker systems, which is the instant assessment and feedback system. So that'll kind of be the order of things, and I hope you enjoy learning some about everything that PTA's been able to provide.
We just switched who was who, so I'm going to transition real quick.
You can go in any order you want.
We have, at this moment, we have one Nook that's being checked out by our 4th and 5th graders for a week at a time. So it has, many of you are probably familiar with Kendalls or Nooks or Kobos, whichever. But we're trying to move the kids to be comfortable in a digital environment as well. And to, my goal is to make everybody comfortable. Right now we have a large gap between those kids that have and those kids that have not. So I have kids that are familiar with iPads and Nooks and Kindles and have their own, and I have some that haven't touched them at all. So my goal is to try to get it in everybody's hands so everybody is with us on the same page. Library Media Services from Jefferson County Public Schools was kind enough to purchase an adapter for me. So this adapter is so that I can project it up here. Most of our kids at this point have had exposure at least to this and at least touched it, especially my kindergartners. That's been kind of it's been a process, but we're getting there. So this particular one has a few books on it, not a whole lot, but it has access to the internet, so they can look up books on this as well. And we also now have the rest of the kids will be taught tomorrow, but we also have digital ebooks on our OPAC, which is our what people used to call the card catalog. Our card catalog is called an OPAC. It's an online public access catalog. There are now some digital books that are housed on my OPAC that anybody that has internet access at home can access those and read them at home, including an origami book, because I can't keep the origami book checked in the library. So I bought a digital one. So this will not be in the library for the most part starting Friday, because the kids will be checking it out. The 4th and 5th graders already took the permission slips home. I have a waiting list already. So it's going home from Friday to Friday. And that's Nook. Yes, ma'am.
And are there games on this Nook?
This particular one has a crossword puzzle, and that's it. Other than that, I've told the kids that they're not allowed to put anything else on it. They can access stuff on the internet if that's okay with parental. Because at home, it would use your wireless internet, so whatever constraints you have on it, it will have.
Okay.
So, no, it does not have games on it. It has primarily ebooks. And the crossword puzzle, I don't know why it's there, but yeah.
And if, for personal choice, we choose not to allow our child to check out a Nook, there's no point where there's going to be consequences, or
Absolutely
they're not
not.
going to be made to feel uncomfortable, or...
No. As it is, right now, though, there's a long waiting list, and I personally call the parent before it comes home anyway. So, yeah. So, no. Some of them, are excited about checking it out. Some of them, if they have it at home, it's not a big deal. But it's just another opportunity for some kids.
Right.
You said there's digital books on the OPAC.
Yes.
our kids could sign out, like, if we have a kid, like, if your child has a Kindle, or are they only for Nook?
Here's an example of one. This is on my OPAC. It's not downloadable onto
Okay.
yours like the
So you
public
just pull it
library.
up on the-
you just
if
pull
you
it
pull
up
up on
on
your home
here
computer
and
or
read it
something.
on here, or read it on your computer at home, or read it. It will not work on an iPad because it doesn't have iPads don't have Flash Player. But there are currently 23 of them, I believe, on our OPAC, and anywhere you have internet access, the kids know how to get to the OPAC.
The kids know how to do it.
Mm-hmm. And get to the book stand.
Okay.
So, and, you know, there's an unlimited number of, all 450 of them could sign into it at the same time and have access to it. It's not limited like some others.
Okay.
Good questions. Thank you. Anybody else?
Thanks, Ms. Kearns.
That's the note. My goal is to get more of these so that more kids can check them out.
You have
That's my
two
goal.
right now?
I have this one, and I have the new one that we just got from our Donors Choose project that just got funded. It does not have anything on it yet. So, but we will have two in circulation soon. There's another one that the kids use in the library right now. It is one that I have actually checked out in my name from Library Media Services in Jefferson County.
And is the advantage that some kids who don't want to just pick up a book and read there because they're more drawn to technology, this is just a way to engage them? Is that why you would want them? What's
Exactly.
the advantage? Yeah.
To engage them, but also, so they're on the same level playing field. If I have a student over here that knows how to use them and is very familiar with them, and I have a student over here that has not ever touched one in their life, different technologies, the same vocabulary, the same knowledge base is helpful, but yes, and also to engage them in reading. Many of them I have graphic novels on several of them to try to engage those reluctant readers as well.
And how much are they if you buy them?
I have only been purchasing Nook HD Pluses. They're about $349 because in Jefferson County I have to buy the warranty as well. But about $349 each. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
So look for another Donors Choose project. I'll probably do another one.
All right.
In my room, we have a document camera. We are not so happy we don't have a smart board yet, but we're gonna try to get one. We're on the hope for it. One of the things that I do with kindergarten is handwriting is one of our curriculum things, and I'm gonna put this book under. But I practice, as Heidi said, or as Mr. McNary said, that they can really watch you do it. Handwriting is really important, like when you make the letters and you tell them to go down. And I always make it so the kids can see me going down on my paper. It's crooked now. See, it's not the same as in my And so, and I will say that the kindergartners, when I mess up, because I mess up sometimes.
Keep turning.
Keep turning one more time.
Keep turning one more time.
Other way.
There you go.
There you go.
Oh, good.
We threw you for a loop.
Yeah. I can rotate, but even in my room, I see it goes the other way. Now it's upside down. Wait. See,
Your kids all make their M's and W's.
They all write backwards. It was a W, wasn't it?
Kids, take a mirror and
What have I done?
practice this.
I don't know what I did.
Now you got it right there.
Okay. I had it right, and then I messed up. But so they can watch, and I'll say start at the dotted line, or go straight down and come back up and up, and we'll practice and we'll go really slow, so then we can do it again, and so they can see exactly how to make it. Because some kids, like we have pencil grips that we put on pencils to help with handwriting, and so we practice and we can see the lines, and so everybody is all on the same page. And that's one of the things that we do. Another thing is if I'm going to do, and I didn't bring any work, I can show them, like, at the beginning of the year where to put their name on their paper because they can see me put my name on my paper and see exactly where to write the answers. But this is my favorite part. This is our writer's notebook, and we have writers in kindergarten. And, like, this, sometimes we talk about things that we could add to our story. And, like, this one says the 6 dancing princesses, and it says one day there was a kingdom and there was a king and the queen was died, which means dead. So the king married a new queen, the queen was mean. Well, we could talk about what she could add to that, and if you have a smart board, we could come up here and talk about if you were going to add something else, what would you put down here? And we could say the queen was mean, I didn't do it. I didn't bring it. Yeah, we didn't calibrate it. I'm sorry. So it's going to look funny.
Turn the page to.
You can turn the page.
Your page turned by itself.
Oh, shoot. Okay, thank you. Well, anyway, I could add to it. Are you going to hurry up and calibrate it?
Mine is on a cart,
Yeah.
so if somebody bumps the cart, you have to recalibrate it. Those that are in the classrooms that have been
Yeah, that's why the
installed,
mounted ones are
they
so
do
much
that.
better.
But of course, I have the heater.
And I'm glad Heidi brought that up while you're saying that. The smart boards that PTA purchased, they're actually mounted on the wall. So that doesn't happen where they get bumped and then you have to recalibrate them. Also, the projector is mounted up in the ceiling, so there's no cart like there is here. And then the speakers and sound system, where Heidi has to have her speakers down on the bottom of the cart, the speakers are mounted as part of the smart boards that we have as well. So I'm kind of glad that happened.
And so, like, on this day, if we were going to talk about what we could add, someone could say, well, she could say how the queen was mean. And so I would say, how would you say the queen was mean, Miss Karen? What made
She made her work.
She made her work, and we could add that to her story, even though we're not adding it to her story. She made her work. That was from our, and so we could add stuff. And then when we were finished, we would erase it, and we would move on to the next story. Because then that story's done, and we go to the next story. This one. In this story, we could talk about, because there's punctuation in this story, and we moved on to a different time of the year, and we could say, like, her story is my brother has stitches because I accidentally whacked him with a bat.
Look at that accidentally.
And so, well, she started, I was sorry for him. P.S. My brother is too, because that's her audience. And it says, P.S. My brother is too. And she has some really good punctuation because we talked about that. And of course she went on to the next page and said, and I got babysitted because they had to go to the hospital. But what she does is when we talk about the story, we talked about capital letters. And we talked about when do we have capital letters, and we could actually say, okay, and someone will always tell me we always capitalize the first letter. So we could actually do that on her story, but not really on her real story, on the smart board. And so the document camera is really helpful. I can show them on my projector, and I can go up there and show them. And sometimes I put sticky notes on my white screen, so then they know exactly what to do. But then the story's gone, so I give it back to the writer's notebook. So we love the document camera, so thank you, PTA. I don't know what I would do without it.
Thank you, Trish. And every single classroom has one of those. And that was all thanks to the work of the
Does
PTA.
Mr.
Still
McNary
up
have
there.
one?
Mr. McNary